In this video, I'm going to recommend the current and the future graduate and postgraduate students who are planning for their research career development to reconsider certain points. You need to have a futuristic plan. I mean considering a real futuristic plan, the one that you want to do it by your heart and you really love it. Always on the way, when we plan for something, there are modifications, there are adjustments, and we discover ourselves more and more. But when you start research career development, you need to have a very good insight about the future career in research that you are going to be hired in it, or if it's academic, industrial, your own business or own company. There are so many options. Some people, they just tend to be a faculty member without being a principal investigator. Some people, they just want to have a higher degree. It doesn't really important for them what is the research career that they will work on. If you want to start a graduate studies program, it's really important to ask why I want to go through this path and why I want to attend program. Because surprisingly, there were a lot of master students especially, and some PhD students, when they do a program and I ask them what are your plans, they said, oh, just because I couldn't find a job, I decided to do a master's, maybe to find a better job opportunity, and they don't really think that why I'm really doing this. Does that really make me better in having a higher salary or have a better awareness of my work aspects and deeper understanding of lab and experiment techniques in case if they are working in such a field? So it is really important to know your expectations and even consider that if you get along the way, what will happen, what is plan A, what is plan B and C, so on. So you don't want to end up having high debits or being unpaid for some reason during your graduate studies and stuck financially and not feeling satisfied about your research career position or the whole process, because it's really draining of your time if you're doing grad studies without a clear futuristic plan. The second thing I would recommend every person planning for graduate studies or currently is a graduate student to consider is not making yourself lose a chance from an expert. I mean by saying that when you are in a lab and there is somebody coming and teach you a technique, you already know it or you already have done it, don't lose the chance to learn more or to gain some small tricks and tips and some hacks about certain techniques and what are the options available. Maybe there are things will save a lot of time if you listen to someone has done that for a long time, even if it's an equal experience. You maybe think even you know better. If you don't really get any advantage from listening to someone teaching you a certain technique or providing you information about a certain machine or analysis, you will at least win a good chance to have a very rich discussion and feedback between you and the person you are discussing this technique with. The third thing I would like to recommend here is about how you feel during graduate studies. From the beginning, before you start, the launching of the program, all the way until graduation and post-graduation. There are a lot of feelings, a lot of up and downs. There are, like, it is life nature, but I want you to know this very well, that there are a lot of people in the research career development will come through your way, and you will see how the unfair advantage of some people who are natively speaking English or learned English in a very early stage of their life, or people who came from a family already researcher and faculty member and principal investigators all around speaking about the same field, or people who got the opportunity from day zero to learn a certain field in a very good programs during their education process, so they became skillful in such a research field in an early stage. It could be an earlier age than you, but that doesn't mean that you cannot make it or you never can be as good as them. There are a lot of good and excellent researchers who started from scratch at every level and at different stage of their research career development, and now they are one of the best researchers in the world by hard working, by consistent learning. You don't have to finish your master's and PhD by a certain age, say like 30 or 32. That means you are going to have a better life and easier than someone finished their master's or PhD by age 35 or 40 or 50 or even behind that. I see a lot of parents especially who have this struggle that they have to take care of their children or postponing their graduation studies plan or research career development, and it takes really a lot of them to go through that. That doesn't mean that you are less than someone else who could do all of that, and even including parenting before a certain age, and because of the advantage. Not everybody lucky with this, even the understanding supervisor or supportive supervisor. There are so many things in this world, so don't focus on the people who can make it and you are less than them. More than that, everybody have advantages, and unfortunately the world of unfair advantage in graduate studies and research career development journey will come through your way, and this one should not discourage you. You should find even the advantage in you, like being a hard-working person, developing your reading skill to read faster and screen better day by day. And believe me, one day you will make it. Some people are lucky because of the environment and the family or society they grow up in that's supporting their research career development from day zero. But there are people who are really paying a lot of efforts to bring themselves up, and that make them even more special than the people have everything around them and just take it as easy as possible. The fourth thing I would like to talk about it is to invest your time in the list to do every day. Give this list to do the opportunity every day, in the morning and at the end of the day. Actually, at the end of the day is the one that you can invest more to keep the next day is more fruitful than the one in the morning, because the one in the morning is just to decide which are of the list to do you decided the previous day to make. They are really important and your time will be sufficient enough to do them. You need to really make a list to do, because when you make a list to do and you find there are too many things to do, that means there is something wrong. You have to correct, you have to abandon some duties, you have to fix the problem of being overwhelmed with too many things to do, and that even will push you to procrastinate doing too many things, which will add more stress on you. You don't want to go there. So always try to invest your time in list to do and arrange your time and plan it efficiently. And the next day in the morning you decide what are the most important things you have to do at the beginning of the day and things that you can cancel or leave them for someone else to do. So keep in your mind, when the list to do is very crowded, that means there is a problem and you have to fix it. The next recommendation I would recommend every graduate student to consider is about reading. Reading. I cannot emphasize the importance of reading and how that opens widely your comprehension and how can it expand your limits of being creative in research career development. Reading is the best thing I can recommend every graduate student to invest in. Even if you read one article and you feel you don't understand it for the first time, it's okay. Read it for a second time. If you feel also you don't understand, let it go. Just keep your notes about it. Then read another article and the next one and the next one. And then when you read a group of articles, you find yourself, you understand better the more you read. And you find yourself, when you go to a previous article, you really understood what is there, but at that point being difficult, new for the terminology, for maybe the language vocabulary, the group vocabulary that you had at the beginning when you read, it's really expanded and you can express better your scientific thoughts and you can really make connections between what you have done what are people saying in different papers, and what is the possible future project that can come out from certain different papers. And you can even have your own new project from somebody else's work by reading and making connection, even if you don't have any data and you are new in a field. So consistent reading, it will make your background knowledge concrete. The next thing I would recommend, highly recommend, is to listen to your body. If you feel you are frustrated and you have difficulties to go up every single day, that means you are really stressed and you are going through a very difficult time. Most likely you would need to rest, take a break, or see a therapist. It is very important to keep your mental wellness very well. But if you are feeling that it is fine and normal and nothing going wrong with you, and what you hear from graduate students about being, it's difficult, it's kind of lasting forever and things like that, and you feel why I'm not feeling what they are feeling, why I'm not seeing what they are seeing, that's okay. You don't have to be stressed. During graduate, maybe you have a very beautiful lab, going along your project, along your supervisor, along lab members. So you don't need to be frustrated to be a graduate student and a junior researcher. But at the same time, if you feel you are frustrated, it's okay to express yourself. It's okay to say that I'm not feeling well. It's okay to go and see a therapist. So listen to your body and try to respond accordingly. If you hear someone complaining, that will affect your energy, and even if you don't have any problem, but just hearing that will make you feel bad, it's okay. Just detach from these people and keep your positive energy good. If you feel that will make you able to help someone by listening to them without impacting your progress and your energy level, it would be very great. So try to listen to yourself, and if you can do it, to listen to others. Otherwise, don't underestimate or label someone is complaining a lot that they just want to complain. Everybody really have their own life and their own struggles, and you don't know what's going on that they are complaining about, and maybe just mouth word without being really realistic about it. Just let it go for everyone. Believe me, when you are a researcher, you are mature enough and smart enough to know that when to decide to listen or to complain, and when you decide not to listen or not to complain. Talking about people and complaining and interaction, I would like to recommend not to too much attach to your colleagues. Your colleagues are your colleagues. Even if you develop a good friendship with them, try to respect everybody limits and the borders. So don't push too much friendship, and at the same time don't push too much toward the negative side of it by being too much restricted about how people communicate with you. And attach better to your work and to your own self-care and developing the research project. Attach more to your bench work, attach more to your paperwork, attach more to things that you know that we will make the world happier, like being an environmental activist, being a human rights and animal rights supportive. You can develop a good relationship with some crafts, build a solid relationship with lab members and colleagues based on respect. So it is very important to learn how detach from people and reattach in the appropriate way, because always there are people in anywhere you go, including research career, that they don't know where to stop, they don't know how to respect others, and they don't know even how to fairly treat themselves and treat others. The last thing I would like to recommend today here is face your financial problems. Seize the opportunities for every fund possible, every award that you can win. Apply for summer funds and travel awards. Work part-time when it's possible. TA is very convenient, but what is important when you try to fix your financial problem, that you consider your mental wellness. And how can you do that without damaging your mental health? We came to the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed watching it and became beneficial. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with friends and family. Write in the comment section what are your thoughts about my recommendation, and if there is something interesting that you would like to participate in, please subscribe to my channel. That will help me to grow and give more. Thank you for watching and see you soon.